Hello! Hope everyone's having a nice plan for their weekend. It's time for another Friday puzzle series, and today we have not one, but two puzzles. I'm very excited to be doing this video in this Leeds United shirt, because last time I did it in this shirt, they lost 4-0. I was feeling terrible, and yesterday they won 4-0, so there is karma. And whenever I want to make a video in this football t-shirt, I guess there is the universe balances it out or some other bullshit like that. But let's get to the chess video, and today we have not one but two, and they're linked by a common theme, which is the king is out in the open and how to punish them. Again, these are games from real chess masters. One is simpler, I guess, the other one is quite advanced. So let's see what we can learn today. In this position in the game, white played queen to d7, giving a check. This move is not a bad move, it maintains equality in the position, and eventually white won. But can you find a move that gives white much quickly a much bigger advantage? Pause the video and we discuss in a few seconds. Alright, so if you found the correct move, congratulations, you clearly know how to attack, and the move is queen to h4. So in this position there is no threat of checkmate, the king can escape, but currently they have only one square, which is f5. And here comes the beauty of this very nasty move, pawn to g4, which gives a check, and wherever the king goes, again, checkmate is not a threat, there's many squares to get to, but you open up an attack to an undefended queen and basically win the queen. So say king moves to e6, for example, black has lost the queen. So what was interesting to me and why I'm showing this puzzle is this is a game between masters, and the player with the white pieces, Valery Loginov, he missed that. So his rating during the game is 2500. So I was thinking, why would that happen? I mean, aside from the fact that it's an endgame, which means that maybe there is some time trouble issue, I thought it's a very counterintuitive move that only works in this position, because normally you want your queen in the endgame to be in the center because it controls all, squares and controls a lot of territory, a lot of space. And you typically don't want to move your queen on the rim, especially when it looks kind of blocked. And also it's not going to be a checkmate when the king is so much out in the open. So you want to do some other stuff with the queen. So white's move, queen to d7, kind of keeps the queen in the center. And I don't know what their exact plan was. You can check in the game that I'll link below. But eventually they managed to somehow win. But queen to h4 works because of the pin that you create. The discovered attack that you create by moving your pawn, and by the fact that the queen is undefended. So what you want to do with kings out in the open is check them into oblivion. In this case it takes only one move, but sometimes it takes more move in order to place your other pieces and coordinate them in a way that you create another threat. Here it took only one move, again queen to h4, very counterintuitive move normally, but works perfectly in this position. And if white did that, they would have won in only a few moves. I think here black would have probably resigned. So very cool puzzle, I think. Very interesting how even masters can't see these things. So let's go to a more complicated puzzle, which is on the same theme, and let's see how you do with this one. This time it is black to move, so I'm gonna flip the board, and again we have a very exposed white king. So what to do? Pause the video and think a little bit longer on this one, because white has a couple of responses, and to solve a puzzle you need to see all the variations, right? So let's see what you can find. Alright, well, the good thing is in YouTube you can pause stuff, so you don't have to wait 10 minutes until your audience have solved the puzzle. Hopefully also you didn't think 10 minutes, but gave it a good couple of minutes, I guess. So the winning move here, the only good move, is bishop to h3. As we can see, there is equal material in the position, 5 pawns, 2 pairs of bishops, queens and obviously kings, and both sides are making some threats, but it's white's king that's really exposed. And with the bishop h3 move, you take advantage of that. Let's see how white can defend. I think the most intuitive move, and also the one that loses the quickest, so I'll cover it quickly, is to go back bishop to g2. You definitely prevent the checkmate idea right away. So most players, especially in time draw in an endgame, I would imagine would play that. I definitely play this at least 5 out of 10 times. And, you know, it's very simple to see that after bishops are exchanged, you lose the other bishop too. So it's not a good idea, and why it's particularly bad, I think, even strategically to consider this move, if you think a bit more, is you're white and you want to have counterplay, because clearly your king is so bad. So by losing two bishops against one bishop for black, that's way worse for having any counterplay than just losing, for example, one bishop. So you definitely don't want to do that. So you might want to consider a move like bishop h7. First of all, with a move like that, you at least win a pawn for your bishop, which didn't happen in the last variation. You also check the white king, and you allow yourself to kind of defend the checkmate with the queen, start giving some checks, for example, like if you go here. But the thing is, black's king is very safe, and also black's pieces can go backwards, right? The queen and the bishop can definitely go backwards with a long range, so they cover critical squares which you might want to use to give all these perpetual checks as white. In particular, they cover this square, which would be very good to give diagonal checks to the black king. So at the moment, sacrificing this bishop probably is a little bit better. I don't know between these two moves what a computer would say which is better, but it's a better attempt at least. But the best and most principled move, and you can pause here for a sec only if you want to, I think, but like to find the best move for white, which is it's king to f2. Because you don't stop the check, but at least now you can run out with the king and hopefully get to another safe space, and you keep more pieces on the board. Sometimes you have to admit you're worse in a game, and you really don't want to lose these counter-attacking pieces that kind of can come to life pretty quickly if black doesn't maintain the pressure. So the best continuation is to continue checking and kind of find a way to place yourself in a way where you can start winning pieces or going for checkmate. So I'll not show all variations, but I think I'll show you definitely the best, trickiest variation for white to play. Here you can check from g1, and let's say white moves to their king to d3. You can use your bishop to check here. If the king goes on the second rank, then you can really start putting pressure on them with the queen and corner them. So probably the best move here is king to d4, and here give a check, and white has, I think, two moves. Let's say they play king to e3, and this is the trap that white can prepare if they had a lot of time to think, like, why is it the best defense? Because here finally, as black, you have managed to capture this bishop, but if you do it, actually it's a draw, because now your pieces are not defending nearly as well as when they were here and here. The queen was on b4, the bishop was on h3, and they could go back, and I was showing you all the arrows of all the squares they cover defensively. But now, with this sacrifice of a bishop, it's not looking so good. If black takes, which they should, otherwise they'll go into even bigger trouble, the queen can come here, preventing the escape of the black king into safety. So, you know, this is what white is hoping for in order to be able to really get counterplay, which won't be enough for a win, but it will save the game for them, which would be amazing given how bad their situation is. So the correct way, and what I mentioned in the first puzzle, kind of trying to hint to you the strategy behind what you should be doing, is to take stuff but keep the pressure with checks. So before you take the bishop, play this intermediate move, which checks again the white king. It has only one spot to go, d4. And now when you take the bishop, it's a check. So white doesn't have time to punish you for grabbing their bishop, so you're just a bishop up, and from here you can keep playing and coordinating your attack in order to win the game. I'll turn the computer on just to see if they have this game in their database. They actually don't, so I'll try to link it from somewhere else. They did have the other game on Lichess. But in any case, hope you enjoyed these videos. Hope it gives you confidence that you can punish those very kings that have gone very astray. And let me know what you thought, because yeah, 2 puzzles, heavy subject matter, almost 10-minute video for a puzzle. Yeah, it's definitely time for a pint. Thanks, guys.